welcome. I hope everyone is doing okay. Let's turn that up, make sure we can be heard. We're gonna have to run the the usuals, right? Let's put this on here. Stopwatch, timer. How do you cut the stupid thing off? All right, it's gonna buzz again. I know it. Yep, it's gonna buzz again in 6 minutes. Stop. There you go. Let's see if that works now. Yeah, it stopped. Excellent. All right, so I am a shoppy little bitch. All right, so this is what happened. I went out to go get an onion. I was like, is this onion that I have good? I think it's good. I don't know if it's good. I should go get another onion just in case this isn't good. I go out, uh, end up getting lobster, not lobster. What is the name of that stuff? Tuscan lasagna soup. That's what it is. Tuscan lasagna soup, which is fucking awesome. And the last time I had it was a year ago. They stopped making it during the pandemic, and it was back. And I was like, get a giant ass tub of this. $15 gone. I was like, all right. So, look, I mashed potatoes. My mashed potato game is pretty decent, but I ain't got to mash them and do all this. So yeah, I love mash. I love potatoes. I was like, all right. So got some mashed potatoes. And some string beans. I always like string beans. Just so salt and butter over them in a bowl, or with rice, or with whatever. String beans. It was awesome. Walked out of that place with everything but I went in there to get the one onion, which would have cost me $2. I ended up walking out of here with $80 worth of food that I don't need. I was like, God damn it, man. I got in the car. I got halfway home and I was like, I never got the onion. It's like, ugh. So yeah. And I was gonna go. Let's put this here. Let's stand this up. Let's hit what, 21? We like 21. We need more ice cubes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had the weird mind. Wow, we need more ice cubes and more water. Yeah, I like to keep ice cubes in here because it keeps the container cold, and once I drink it all up, and then I gotta wait for do the same thing, drop ice cubes, and then wait for the ice cubes and the water to do something. So I'm gonna go get some ice cubes. I should probably open this before I get some ice cubes. I hope they fit in here. I don't think they will. Woo-hoo. It's been a nice day all day. That's one. This looks a little too meaty for the show. There you go. Perfect. Now I just need water. Why did I not bring this with me? Holy moly. Holy moly. Sorry about this. This thing just started too, and we're way out of. Oh, telling you, I really thought today was like Friday. Just because, I mean, it's Monday, but it was so nice. And I was like, oh, I don't have to freaking deal with the weather. Let's put this over here. We're going to have to deal with that later. Cut the fan on and start the clock. How are you, people? All right. Ooh-wee. So we all know that we're moving the show. I've gotten some pretty good feedback about it. More can happen at night, quite frankly. And a lot of people didn't feel my guitar practice, which I get. It's not really for everybody. It's sort of for me. I cannot believe I did not get the onion. It's amazing. All right, we're gonna. Oh, children. Okay, children playing. That's a rarity. Children playing with other children outside. All right, so we're gonna set this other stream up for tomorrow morning, which is Tuesday. I got no Tuesday songs. Tuesday. Which we should call it Tuesday. Yeah, I love it. There you go. All right. Monday the 2nd. Tuesday. You know, trying to get this in day 46. Trying to get this in a.m. early is always like I always screw it up tomorrow. Like yesterday, 7 a.m. We didn't like even put it up until I went on this morning. Oopsie, sort of. Is it good? I think it's good. I hit all the markers and all the ticks. Yep, it's up there. So now I got to check the audio because I was getting bulletins all day that there was some audio issues, which is fine, you know, as long as I know. And I'm not talking for an hour and nothing happens. So let's bring this over here. I think I'm streaming here. And let's go over here, see if I'm streaming here. Oh, this video is unavailable. That's not good. What's going on? I've got two things burning. It's telling, okay, what just happened? Okay, now I'm here. Do I have audio for that? Was weird. I didn't have. Okay, now I'm here. Do I have audio for that? Was weird. I didn't have. Okay, now I have more audio. We can sort of. Come on. I can't even move that. Why is that there? All right. Sometimes. Did I even do the right thing here? I think I did. I think I'm streaming. There goes the video. I think I'm streaming every place. Can I be heard here? Yes. Sorry, it sort of has to happen because it is what it is. And like I said, I don't mind. But when they tell you, oh, hey, you know, we got this like problem today, which is fine because all the others, oh, for God's sakes, all the others, all the others shift as well, right? So Oh. There you go. I think we're done. How long did that take? Done. Done. I want to say, oh, no, I want to say that took about 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. It's still too long, but I get it. Okay, so everything is streaming where it should be streaming. Let's shut this down. Maybe the what's a fahoosis will come back. All right, so we shrink this. Whew. How are you? I hope everyone is good. Uh, there's always something in life, right? Went to pay some bills. Found out that one bill hadn't been paid because for like 3 months because I had an issue with my credit card, and then they sent me a new one, and it was slightly different. And some stuff doesn't miss a beat. They'll realize there's a switch credit card that's still the same account on it, and they'll pull the money out of it. And some it'll stop because the credit card is no longer in, I guess, in the world or whatever. And I look up one day, and there I am. I'm like, how did this happen? I thought I fixed all of those kind of like weird hiccups because I had it a couple of times. It happened when I first got it. It happened to me, and I'm like, oh, I gotta look out for this. I gotta fix it. And yeah, so I was like, holy crap! I have to call the people. They had canceled my my deal. I was like, oh man, can I get the deal? Like, it's not really a big deal, sir. It happens a lot. And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. It's some people, all not some people, some companies that take the thing, I guess, aren't as updated as other companies. So, I mean, you'll get a new card, a replacement card in the mail. You can still use it, but that whole replacement thing, some people, some companies, not people, some companies need you to reallocate a new number into their system, and that's what happened. So I was like, geez, Christmas. So yeah, so I have all these bags over here. Not I have, but outside my window, all these errant paper bags, very American Beauty, end up in this corner. And there was one there for a while, and I was like, "Is the people come and blow the lawn and not blow with the blowers and the lawn are gonna clean it, move out, throw it away?" Nope, nobody. They just blow around it. It's like they're not paying me to do that. It's it's kind of sort of like, uh, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, oh, this shaggy look I have. Huh? Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Um, I told him to take the clothes off. I really do feel like it's Friday, right? That's weird, but that's all right. I managed to do. It's still going. I managed to freaking do a load of laundry. I was gonna go bananas. And I was like, I'm not gonna go bananas. I'm gonna do a little bit every day. There you have it. So, like I said, I told people about the shift, and they were happy about it because they were like, "Nah, we like that you're doing shows, but that show's fucking boring." I was like, "Yeah, I get it. I'm sort of preachy over here, so I'm talking to nobody." But I said, I'm gonna be talking to you. That dog is a yappy mess. Yes, sir. I don't think he knows what he's doing with that dog. Yeah. Oh my. Oh, he picked it up. Oh, good. No animal cruelty, people. He picked it up and he's holding it like this. I think it was like, because that dog is not being quiet and he's not coming along. So now you gotta carry your dog. People who carry their dog is friggin' ridiculous. And there was a dog outside in the back that was yelping. Was yelping for a while, like like that. And I was like, whose dog is that? And then I was like, whose dog is that? And I was like, maybe somebody abandoned this dog. And then it's freaking went away. I guess someone had their screen open or something. All right, so what are we doing, guys? Um, Not a lot, quite frankly. Oh, excuse me. I did not. Oh, man, there's a lot of things I did not do. I did not make the schedule. It's not going to be. Oh man, putting this thing on the charge is ridiculous. It just never takes. There you go. I think this is officially disgusting. Ugh. Now we use it for. There you go. All right. So let's remember. Listening to music. We're still going to be learning that 1,000 days. We're still doing that 1,000 days. I'm still doing that. I'll be here talking smoke to and trying to learn guitar. That won't be for 3 hours anymore. I'm 5 hours anymore. It won't be for. It'll be for like an hour every day for like an hour. After that, we move into the other stuff, talking to your community, talking to your neighbors, seeing where people's heads are at, and trying to get around some of the issues, as well as just other sort of light stuff like gaming and. But yeah, I won't be sitting here like a college friggin' professor shooting my face off to you about like this morning we went into politics again. That's 4 days of politics. This is a good thing that this thing is Saturday is the last day for this, right? So I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to sort of come up with a actual show, which is not hard. I've been all around this stuff for a while. Um, and I'll just invite people on, and we'll have a get down. I think it's going to be very definitely Black centric. Um, so maybe you can come through and hang out with us, learn something about Black culture, or uh, inform me something about Black culture I didn't know. Um, but that's not going to be all of it. That's going to be it's mostly because, like I said, I say that because I have a Black sensibility, so you should know this. And I want to do cool stuff. I want to. Oh, let's open this. Let's bring that. Um, yeah, I want to do some cool stuff. I want to play some games, shoot some pool, talk some crap. And solve some problems. And I think we can do that, just not by playing guitar every day. So there will likely be a name change for the 6 o'clock show, and my guitar show can be whenever I want. Because I think what that's going to more likely be is just me blowing smoke for my own sake. But yeah, I'm learning that thing. Um, Maybe it'll be late. Anyway, woo. That's it. The new thing is not the new thing. The last of this type of show will be the Saturday evening show. That'd be essentially the 100th show. Today's Monday. Yeah, Saturday's 5 days away. So what should we do? In the meantime, you want to talk about politics? Possible? More tell you, you can hear him speeding down the boulevard. I gotta tell you, there was so much traffic out there. I really thought I was gonna be able to go out, pick up the stuff I need to pick up, get back, cook it, so to have it here. Even then, I was thinking, where am I going to put it? Because I have to kind of clean off this table. But I have it here: steak, uh, mashed potatoes, new gravy, some string beans. That was going to be, yeah. It was a hack. I didn't cook the whole thing. I didn't make the string beans. I didn't make the mashed potatoes. But it was something to add to a really quick steak. Steak takes what, 10 minutes? Excuse me. Uh, yeah. Plus, you've been watching me do this for a while now. I think it's unless you have an instructor. I think it's impossible to learn it on stream because eventually no one will be here with you while you do this thing, and you may very well do it, right? But I sort of want to build an audience with you guys. I want to have something to say and have you be interested in being here with me. And I don't think that's me playing the guitar, quite frankly. I don't. And plus, twice a days, like I said, no shame in my game. It is. Come on, guys, what are you doing? It is killing me. I'm gonna have to set that up too. It is sort of killing me getting up and. But someone also told me, well, if you're gonna stop the 7 a.m. show, you should move the late show back to 7. Didn't even think of that. There's a Western on in the other room. I guess the hero is confronting the villain. There's always a girl involved. She's not always a bad girl, but she's not the best girl. What in the world is that? That's not good. Yep, that's not good. All right. Varicose veins, people. They happen to us all. Yeah. Gray hairs. That's not good. So what are we doing? We're 23 minutes in. I don't really have a show because I was going to cook and I was going to film that. Then that didn't pan out. I told you why. I don't even think I have a steak on my show, on my cooking show on YouTube. I do have that excellent giant. I should show you all that. See, and that's the kind of thing that we're going to be doing, right? I'm showing you cooking stuff in a daily guitar practice show. It's been forever since I've been to the theater. Yeah. So what are we gonna do? We're likely gonna make it more of a political talk chit chatty show and gaming. So yeah, we're gonna game. But for that, I will likely send you to my YouTube channel, and I don't expect to be checking the chat too much because I'm gonna be a gaming maniac. But it'll come together. I used to help people do their shows. I've been doing that for 20 years, but I've never created my own. I don't have anybody to help me create my own. Definitely have a very different sensibility. If I can get the first two up, I think I can fix the problem. The problem is content. I gotta clean this room up. I gotta change this whole thing around. Should I change this room for Monday's show? Because between you and the wallpaper, I sort of wanted the cameras. I told you this before, back there to look this way, but then I had to do something about the lights, not the lights, the brightness of the windows, with some like light darkening something or other, and at excuse me, with some light. Wow, devices in there, like some light neutralizing curtains, like something like that. I may have to go back to Facebook. My Facebook is full of political shit from the last 12 years, 10 years at least. I gotta learn a song in the next 15 days. I can't even do a C key. No, sixth string. It's gonna be a long journey, man, but I'm good. I'm ready for it. Remember, yes, you can. Ooh. I really do like playing guitar, right? I'm glad I picked it up. Who knows where I will be in a year. The fuck is going on with all these notifications? Everybody just needs to calm down. Ugh. Mm. That C is murdering me. Yeah, you don't need to watch this for the next 1,000 days, do you? Yeah, but I appreciate it. It got my fire really up for this instrument, and I'm appreciative of you guys being here with me as I tried it. And even as the show transitions, who knows? Maybe one day I'll actually be able to play a good fucking song for you guys on someone else's pod, right? And you guys will go, "Oh wow, he actually learned that shit." Right? And that's what the plan is here. Can't cook every night because then I'd be 1,000,000,000,000. Not gonna work out on stream because I'm not really a physical a trainer. Like I can work me out push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks. Here's the problem with jumping jacks. Every 3 days, something falls off the fucking shelves because you're slowly vibrating. Something is slowly moving. And when you least expect it, a window not, you're like, what the fuck? Because you're slowly jostling shit. Can't do jumping jacks in the house. It's almost hard to do not up and down. What are they called? What are these? Well, no one's in here to ask. What are these called when you jump up, go down to a push-up position, do a push-up or plank, and then come back up and jump up? What are those called? Burpees, right? The burpees is like a slow jumping jack with push-ups. So those things you have to do outside. I can absolutely do a 20-minute morning run, though. As fast as I can, for as far as I can go for 2 minutes. For 20 minutes, rather. Got a book of ideas, so I guess it's not really a thing. One thing I want to do is go down and have one of these guitar sessions at the beach, just out at the water with a little camera, stick it in the dirt with an ice smoothie, and have that will literally be 20 minutes, 20-minute guitar practice. It won't be 3 hours at a beach. There are mosquitoes in here. Don't not be knots. I think ugh. Learn the guitar in 1,000 days. Pretty impressive. What about open a business in 1,000 days? That's pretty fucking impressive. So, what are we doing here? I think what the problem here is with me anyway is, well, I said it before, not that I'm right, but God, some of the stuff that we're arguing about, it doesn't make any sense to argue, and it pisses me off. And I'm just kind of like, why are we arguing about this? Trying to think of a scenario, but I just decided against it. Good Lord. Gaming nightly on Twitch seems much more fun than playing the guitar. What? All right. Well, life goes on. Do we want to look at what's in the news? It's the 2nd of August. U.S. hit 70% vaccination goal a month late and Delta variant surge. Hold on. You're telling me 70% of America is vaccinated? I find that hard to believe. Or are you telling me 70% of Americans have one vaccination? Please note, the Washington Post is providing this important information about the coronavirus for free. For more free coverage of the coronavirus pandemic, sign up for our coronavirus update newsletter. They're just fucking so insincere. By the way, news is supposed to be free. So yeah, you're not doing anybody a real favor. Your paywall only let some people know what's going on. Yeah, all right. The United States has reached a milestone of getting at least one coronavirus vaccine dose to 70% of the. See what did I say? It's the double talk of the headlines that you have to go. Wait, what? The headline. Let's go back to the headline. U.S. hits Biden's vaccination goal a month late, with 70% of adults receiving at least one shot. That's what it says here. But out here, it says U.S. hits 70% vaccination goal a month late amid Delta variant surge. That's a totally different headline. Until when you click on the story, you get a totally different headline. The first headline implies 70% of people are vaccinated. When you click on it to get to the story, you find 70% of adults had received at least one shot. That's not vaccinated. Is it not vaccinated? One shot? Because people with one shot, you keep telling them to go back and get the other shot. So if one shot was, you know what I'm saying? The games these people play. Yeah. Lindsey Graham tests positive for COVID. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have taken that call in the first place. Also, who responded to January 6th attack is a third to die by suicide. You want to blame that on? Mm, yeah, we're gonna have a different show come Monday, because some of these questions I can ask, and then maybe you can explain them to me, right? Maybe you can teach me something. I owe it to pay five Black Lives Matter protesters 5,000 each after they were banned from the Capitol. First of all, you should have to pay more than $5,000 each of them. And who's banning people from shit? Nothing has changed. You give a fucktard a little bit of power, and you're in for it. A young American girl whose mother joined ISIS and died has been rescued, a former U.S. diplomat said. That's not good. 8-year-old Amina Muhammad, daughter of an American woman from Tennessee who joined ISIS in 2014, awaits her fate outside a Syrian detention camp. Yeah, American born girl. Yeah, she's American born. You can't fucking hate on her. And her mother was what she was. I mean, a traitor, right? Aren't they traitors? They're traitors, right? Maybe I have a very loose definition of what a traitor is. But I tell you this, I also think people are traitors who join the French Foreign Legion, right? And some people do it because, they escape America and they join the French Foreign Legion. That happens. It's hard to get to the French Foreign Legion from here, but that happens because they look the other way. I don't know if they still do. But as a young person, why don't you just join the American military? Why would you join another nation's army? And I'm sure there's a good reason. I just wish somebody could explain it to me. Okay, and here's another one. De Blasio, the mayor of New York, says no indoor mask mandate for anybody, but he wants you to wear masks. The governor of New York, Cuomo, said the same thing. So it's don't you have authority to mandate stuff, right? I don't think you should mandate. I think it's, but I said this before. But if you're in charge and it's a pandemic, you should mandate it. It just shows political weakness. It really does show political weakness. Debate her. Why you the View host Meghan McCain not having the courage to debate? Mary Trump wants to debate. Well, first of all, who are you? Then man. You better run out there and get a pot like everybody else, idiot. And let me tell you something. You have to know some political maneuvering. Sometimes these debates are trapped, so you got to just like everyone has to do it in an election. But people throwing random let's debate things at people isn't always a good thing. It really is not. Another Republican compared COVID restrictions to the Holocaust. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft director with intelligence background will lead the White House Space Council. Okay. I don't understand that at all, unless you want to make the Space Council a arm of the NSA. What anti-Asian hate are you fucking talking about? It's the only way I can get into the press. So that's what I'm running on. Anti-Asian hate, which isn't a thing. And don't get me wrong, but I would like to know how many cases before this and after this, right? Versus how many cases of, the typical nonsense we see with blacks and Latinos. It implies, first of all, no one should hurt anybody. But the fact that one person gets hate, we need a law. And I'm like, oh, I mean, the weak sauce is ridiculous. And you're getting it all over my shoes. For some athletes, the Olympics aren't just a chance to compete, they're an opportunity to defect. Yeah, you should absolutely defect. Belarus is full of shit. And when they find out that you tried to defect, and if they send her back, they're going to kill her. And she's only 26. You take all sorts of shit, 6. So send her to, you can't send her to Russia because Russia will send her to Belarus. But she's essentially Slavic, I would say, right? Russian Slavic, right? Where are you going to send her? Who are your allies over there? It's a good question. Maybe she can learn English and live here. And in a generation, call me and my family the N-word. Destry Spielberg addresses Hollywood's nepotism conversation. The name can only do so much. The fuck out of here. That name could do everything. So what are you saying? Don't ask her about nepotism, right? We know it exists. Some of these topics that they cover are ridiculous. Matt Damon has retired his use of the F word. F is for faggot, right? So he retired this word, but he was still using it. Look, I grew up using it too. And other than me just saying it right here, because I don't like the N word, which is bullshit, just say nigger. And then expect your comeuppance, right? But who uses this? Who uses the F word, which I thought was fuck for a second? The baby said he's sorry for the. Yeah, you can take a boy out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the boy. Now he's got all these handlers who's like, you're going to lose all this money and you can go back to the project. So now no one has a philosophy. No one has a philosophy. If he had a philosophy, he could have still said what he said better. I say what I say. I offend some people, but the amount of people I offend are small. And this usually it's people looking to be offended because I'm really excellent at this. Excuse me. I'm really excellent at this arguing shit. I've been doing it for a while. That's the perk of growing up in a big family because you had to defend yourself to my older brother, my older sister, my younger brother, my younger sister. And people have different age acumen, right? So you just can't win what I could win with my younger sister against my older brother, right? And my family's good about asking you questions. Wait. So if you did this, right, and then you have to explain yourself. Let's hear what you have to say. And everybody had to do it. Everybody had to do it. De-Trump the federal courts. Yeah, man. I don't know. My whole thing is there's a body count, and I don't care about your feelings because someone says mean words to you. I've been gentrified out of 3 neighborhoods by some of these people, but then all of a sudden, you know, we're all on the same footing because we're minorities fighting and saying, no, we're not. No, we're not. At this point, you're just using black votes to get elected and say you care and not do anything. So yeah, maybe my next show will do nothing but burn the houses down of these bullshit politicians. Metaphorically, of course, people. Because every time they open their mouth, you just fucking drop bombs on them. People, Boozy says people try to force this gay stuff in New Rant. Yeah, I would agree with that. No, there's no conversation about any of this, and I don't know what the conversation is. You're not going to stop anybody from being gay. But a lot of this is, if you don't like what I want you to like, your ass is out of here. You signed up for the music business. The music business has always been running by, always had a heavy dose of gays, right? Costume designers, secretly gays, whatever. But you're dealing with the black community where, I hate to tell you this, but it kind of doesn't fly, right? I have gay family members and we love them, but we don't want anybody to beat them up. At the same time, you're not going to browbeat me with what you think about the world. It's not going to happen, right? We're mostly Christian, heavily Christian. And then all of a sudden you insult, I've been insulted by, Christians and that bullshit. That's why you like, yeah, there's a lot of things that, people don't like, and they'll find a shot for you to be. But I said this, I think I said it this week. I don't support the gay community because they don't support me. Every time I need you to show up for a rally, you really don't. Every time I need you to, you really don't. And as soon as something goes bad, you have to like bring up a giant thing and make it about the blacks and the gays, right? And then every time the fucking election year runs around, what? No, what? No, I'm just not for it anymore. I need to see less dead people and more homosexuals out there saying this shit is wrong. But I don't see that. And I'm tired of that fucking parade. That parade is vile. It really is. I get a pride parade, but yeah, fucking banana hammocks and swinging your junk around. What is that? Seriously, I wish I had a gay person come on the show and explain that to me. That parade seems like a sex parade versus anything else, right? If you had if you had a suffrage parade and women were out there topless, with hoochie went shaking their ass and waving freaking, like kissing each other and waving vibrators around, you'd be like, is this really about voting? What is this really actually about? What is this fucking parade about? So yeah. You want to be rich in Hollywood, you better do what you're told. And doing what you're told got black people painted really darkly for a long time with their movies. I could talk for 3 hours on Hollywood and its racism. So when they all of a sudden just change because the winds change and they say all this nice shit, you go, you buried me. It's like the smoking industry. You said it wasn't poisonous and you lied to people for 50 years and people died horribly, right? You sold chewing tobacco. And that cancer wasn't lung cancer. That was like throat cancer, mouth cancer, tongue cancer. People had, like, I remember seeing people as a kid with their jaw removed because they had chewed tobacco. And people didn't stop chewing tobacco in Major League Baseball because there was a concerted effort, ex-smokers saying, I'm done with cancer. And they would go talk to the young players. And then people, and like the old players like, man, whatever. Just like now, I see people smoking, fine, smoke, not this about, but you know the risk, right? See these old dudes do it, see these young, but you know the risk. Back then, everybody chewing tobacco would spit all over the place, right? My grandmother chewed tobacco and spit it in a Maxwell House can. It's going to be a memory I take to my grave, and I will remind her of it when I see her in the next life, because she's definitely some person I'm looking forward to seeing. Her and my granddad. It was fucking awesome. The best memories for as long as I had him in my life, right? It is what it is. And then people was like, "Oh man, you can't tell people not to smoke. You have to show them, like, you have my tongue removed. This is Bob. You got all these scars, and he's only 50. He's been chewing tobacco since." People are like, not everybody chews gum, right? Gum is just sort of swapped out tobacco, and people probably don't even know why they chew gum. I chew gum because it's good mentally. It helps you. It helps me think. But yeah, tobacco company lied to us about the dangers of tobacco, and they got escaped. You know, what I used to do when I was in college, I used to go down to the periodicals and look up like when I had an assignment. But I would also look up what doctors said about like black people. They don't have intellectual capacity and they don't feel pain, so you can do all this. These are fucking doctors, just liars, right? Just nonsense people. Never paid a price. Millions suffered for it. So yeah, I mean, I get it. Darkness is darkness. Yeah, kids do need to be in class, but adapt. Have classes outside. But what happens if it's cold? I don't know. Somebody's got to try something new. Nobody's got any ideas. That's the problem. Every yeah, I mean, all of these COVID stories are just weird to me. Having said that, go get a shot and stay away from me. Keep your mask on and stay away from me. Season 5. I should probably watch that. Uh it's been a while since I watched any since I've watched any Netflix. Congress questions why Twitter still doesn't license music. Why does Congress care? That sounds like somebody told you to ask Jim Dorsey that. I don't really care if they license music. I think these companies have too much control. They need to be broken up. That's my official position. Make them utilities. And since you don't pay taxes, the government is buying this from you for $1. Shut up or go to jail for 1,000 years. Some of this is cruel. Some of this is arrogance. Some of this is mean spiritedness. And you hide behind your wall of money. But I really do believe that the people have a way of fucking telling you to go fuck yourself, quite frankly. This bishop just admitted his diocese covered up sexual abuse of kids for decades. I gotta tell you, man. The Inquisition was the church telling the state to do this to these people. And it lasted, I want to say, for 400 years, right? So, what you want is your church and your state to remain separate. And the state should absolutely come down with a hard hand on organizations, religious or otherwise, that at this point they were by their covering it up, they were encouraging other people to do it because people knew that they would be covered. So by covering up this thing, you encouraged it, right? It is what it is. Ugh. Guess that's it. There is no, there is no real news anymore. It's all celebrities saying mean things. But I've always said, hey, if I say this and you don't like it, fuck canceling. I'm not a fan of cancel culture. Just for the simple reason that I don't know who's canceling this. This could be orchestrated by a company, by what do they call those things? Not advertising companies, like publicity firms and all that. And you get good publicity firms and bad publicity firms, right? And by that I mean like people know how to big you up when you don't deserve it, and people also know how to attack you when you're the. If you don't believe that, look at the Nina Turner race in Ohio. They're attacking her like she's some coked out street strumpet or some shit. And this the Democrats doing this. So the Democrats don't want the people's choice. They want the person that will do what they tell them to. So yeah, I mean, if you're in Ohio and you can see this, you need to vote Nina Turner. But at the end of the day, vote or don't vote, it's your right. Yeah, I really wish somebody. I mean, because I get it. I mean, let's going back to these words you grew up using, the F word. See what I mean? Even I mean, okay, so you're not gonna say, now that's the F word, and this is the C. You always dictate your behavior by what you do to us, and then you ignore us, and just call it. I'm just tired. I can't even fuck with these people anymore. I can't. When I say these people, I mean all of you. But and especially look, I like people in in small doses. I like people out of their group, whatever group they're in. I don't really care for it. I want to talk to you about your life and about your culture and why I feel this way about this and that way about that. And I want to hear what you have to say about it. I'm not really even trying to argue you if all you have for me is bullshit talking points and hipster nonsense. And I see a lot of it. A lot of hipster nonsense. And I see like letting your 9-year-old get a sex change operation, I think it's a child abuse. I will tell you outright. And I know the gay community is for that kind of shit. I'm just kind of like, what? Look, if you change anything on you, you should at least be through puberty and at least 20. Then knock yourself out, right? I know 18 is legal, but I don't think you can really stop growing until 20. But hey, knock yourself out. Little kids before puberty, I think that's just a mess. Letting your son run around in a dress is going to come back to haunt you when he's 30, right? Some people think they're super liberal, like the parents who let their 12-year-old date a 25-year-old and she got pregnant. They arrested their asses, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I just want to do what I want to do because it's America. Yeah, I think your freedom stops at my nose, and my freedom stops at your nose. So, but yeah, a lot of this is like you're gonna do this anyway, and we black people are. I think for the most part, I can't talk for everybody, but we look at it like we suffered a fucking lot here, a lot, and now you're telling me that we're the bad guys because of these? No, absolutely not. There's a lot of religious connection to it as well. Even if you don't go to church, you are still a Christian. You're taught that some shit don't fly, right? Taught that bullying doesn't work. Fight it out, right? Or at least if you can't fight it out, you're smart enough to know who the bad guys are. So we'll see. I would love for somebody to come and talk to me about it, but I don't think they can hang. I really don't think they can hang. I think it comes down to you're just hateful. Like I just want to accuse you because I mean, I got no time for you. Click. I miss the bar days when I didn't have to hang up on somebody. Some of those, every now and then, some of those would get hot and cats would threaten. I'd be like, yo, really? Since we're done talking, is this a part where I fucking beat the fuck out of you in a bar? Here's the way that goes. You can't use that on everybody because some people are like, yeah, I would like to see you do that. Then you're like, oh fuck. But some people you can easily threaten off the high horse. See how committed they are to their philosophy, right? Some dudes like I said were just idiots with the philosophy. Couldn't rather just think, all right, man, I'm gonna go get a beer. Anybody else want a beer? Wouldn't come back, or come back 20 minutes later after the whole thing calmed down. You have to know how to diffuse situations, just like you have to know how to deflect situations. These are all the art of conversation, man. And nobody knows the art of conversation anymore. Now this is what I think. Oh, you're an asshole and a racist, or an asshole and a Semite, or an asshole and a homophobe, or an asshole and what's the other ism, right? And you're like, what? Well, once you call somebody something like that, it ends the conversation. It really does. It ends the conversation. Why am I even talking to you? Right? He called me a racist. That black guy's an idiot. He don't know what he's talking about, right? Why? I'm a racist because I'm from what's the place with very few black people? I'm from I wouldn't say Colorado or Montana, right? All right. So, but again, people were driving down. I tell this to black dudes all the time. People were driving down with their abolitionist spirit who did not have to. Viola Liuzzo died for that shit. And God bless her. And so did I thought about to say Christian Center, she's an idiot. So did the young woman. Hey, Chicken Nugget, I saw your video a day or two ago. I loved it. But who's the woman who died who was run into 2 years ago at the Black Lives Matter rally, right? She gave her life for this. So you want to win your argument. You don't want to insult anybody. You want to acknowledge people's history and their path, right? You want to acknowledge that people do good. And I'm a good person, even though I don't understand what your argument is. And you're a good person, even though I don't understand what your argument is. Right? And we're supposed to somehow get it. But in the modern America, everything is conflict and cancel culture. Some stuff should be canceled, like these sexual knuckleheads in Hollywood. But they're telling you, you know, like this whole cancel the baby thing is bullshit. And for the reason I just told you, right? It's super hard to get out of the ghetto. He gets out the ghetto in an industry where these people, gay people, have had a long-standing interaction with the Hollywood, right? Behind the scenes, I would say, like the hairdressers and stuff like this. People know who people are gay because they weren't as liberal. They keep telling them how liberal they are. Hollywood has never been that liberal. It's just a talking point. And you take him out of the ghetto, now he's got, you know, an agent and a manager and a personal lawyer, and you know, and all these people who kind of hover around his fire, but it can go away and they will still be in that line of work. They'll just try and represent somebody else. But it's not that easy to run and go get somebody who's going to make $100 million in 5 years. And the baby is definitely going to do that, right? So now you have to keep him from getting canceled by some of these knuckleheads on the internet. That's true. Some of these grandstanding politicians, yeah, Madonna opening her face, shut up. You know, Madonna, you know, it's way to go out on a limb. It just looks like attacks of opportunity, quite frankly. And in this environment, everybody really loves to like attack these young black dudes. Tried to cancel Kanye 5 times. I'm always defending Kanye West. I'm always defending him, right? I think the dude's a genius, musical genius. He's not a political genius. But, you know, they'll run up and go, what do you think about the election? They won't ask anybody else that because they want him to say something so they can then sit on their high horse. Do you believe what he said? Why'd you ask him that? It was a trap that he fell into, right? And if I was on his team, I'd be like, don't answer that. Then all of a sudden they'd come back with, oh, he had his handler, X, Y, you know? It's all just about, no matter what you say, the way we write this thing, you're going to look bad doing it. And it's an old American trick. It absolutely is. Racism makes a shit ton of money in America. I hate to be the one to tell you that. I need the problem solved. And I need more people running up going, I support you. Let's have another march. No, motherfucker. I'm done marching. We'll play this guitar. I'm a chill. I'm a cool. I'm a hang out. But when we talk politics and fairness, you know, everybody knows where I stand. I think those guys who did this nonsense to women in the workplace should be arrested for rape. I think these women who played this game put these other women under a box. You made this behavior normal. It isn't like it came out of nowhere, right? And nobody talks about the whole thing of everything. They talk about whatever they can sell paper. They're trying to get hits too, right? So if I had a website and I there was there was a baby, and the baby was drowning, and I jumped in the water and saved the baby, and it got 150 million hits. I still get the hits, just like if I had a website or something and I tossed the baby in the river, that too is going to get 150 million hits, and that's where I think the media looks at it. Yeah, we don't care if it's good news or bad news. We make money off selling you sensationalized news, and we will make it up if we need to. So I think that's a large part of why racism is still around, quite frankly, and because the media has always been like, especially in the South, right? Uh, but under that media, I don't think the homosexual community took a hit like we took a hit. So then they hear that what did Dave Chappelle say about oppression and like the blacks and the gays? I forgot it, but it was pretty good. But it's the idea like we've been somewhere here for 300 years now. You want us to do what? No, we're not doing that. And that's why I really think that we've hit like this wall, right? All these people you put in the minority camp don't like each other. The blacks have a dark history with the Asians. The blacks don't fuck with the gays for religious reasons. So you just go, well, we'll just blame all the blacks because the gays and the Asians are under control. I guess it's very weird, man. And like I said, I've got 1,000 questions I'd love to have a conversation about, but they always end up in yelling matches and people saying mean things to me, which is fine. You should yell at me, say mean things to me, but first defend your argument. Oh, I'm out of these. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this up, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to play some guitar. We're not going to talk about politics. Remember, the show is shifting. The music portion, the music is not even a music portion. The music, me learning guitar is not going to shift. I'm still doing that every day. But there's going to be an evening show, probably at about 6 or 7. My nephew says I should move it to 7. I think he's right. But we had a channel long before my nephew was my co-host, and his homie was our co-host. My man T. What up, T? So we may try and bring that back. I think my nephew will be good at this. My family does a lot of talking and a lot of jokes and a lot of wit and goofiness. And there's a 30-year difference between me and my nephew. So I'm like my Uncle Shannon, who was also like me, but he was 30 years older. God rest you, Uncle Shannon. So yeah, we're gonna see what his show looks like. I'm gonna make him do a show with his friends, his urban attitude, his urban energy. It's gotta be good, right? He doesn't do politics, so I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna love him because he doesn't do politics. He does pop cultural current stuff. Like he games and he likes the cool newest clothes, newest like stuff. So yeah, this is his wheelhouse. I just think he needs a little know-how. And I'll I think the young people need a chance, man. I really, 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 really do think that the people at the top, these old 70-year-old, box them out. I think we're 3 generations behind the people who should be running this country. I think the people who should be running this country should be the youngest 45, maybe the oldest 65. That 20-year gap. All this 84-year-old shit is just how old? If you're 82, how old are these people? Let's do some simple math. You hold it. First, I'm gonna get this. We're gonna do some simple math on some of these politicians. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look up the ages of some of these politicians, and then we're gonna backtrack when they would have been doing what you're doing, the dirty, the nasty, hitting on people, smoking it out, sexing it up, having some babies. So let's let's hit this. This is gonna be so good. People are gonna be so pissed off at me. I know it. Let's put that up. That's my we'll just here. Let's put yes here. Oh, for God's sakes. And now we just need to open up a browser to browse. Oh, good Lord. Here we are. Okay. Very simple. Oh, there goes a very simple math, right? How old is Nancy Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi. Oh, there's not a P in Pelosi. She was born in 1940. She's fucking 81. She's fucking 81. So 50 years ago, she'd have been 31, right? Yeah. So how long ago was 50 years ago? 1968? 60, what year was she born? 1940. She's 81. So it's 2001. So 40, 50, 60, 70. So in the 70s, she was around 40s, 50s, 60s. So in the 60s, 70s, and 80s were her heyday to do all this stuff and tell you, oh, I had these kids and I had abortions and I had. When do you get when do you get oh, what is it? What is that women when they stop having babies? How long ago was that? If she's 80, why is she telling you about like any of this shit? Right. So she's about the 60s and 70s when she was in her prime, 60s, 70s. Let's see. Who else we got? DeSantis, I don't like him, but he is in his fucking 40s. How old is he? 42. Yeah, he makes sense. I hate to say it, but he makes sense. How old is Biden? 78. So he's about the same, right? 77, 66 or 77. Yeah. I'd say he's about the same. The 70s and the 80s would have been his prime. Got the job when he was 29. Ugh. All right, who else we got? I hate to say this too, but your vice president, who's useless, she is absolutely and utterly fucking useless. She's got to be about 50, 40 something, 56. Okay. Yeah, she makes sense too. She really does. I don't agree with her at all. I think she's a grand opportunist. She makes sense for her age to be in politics, right? This is what we're going on. Who else do we got? Look at Maxine Waters. Her ass needs to be out of here. How old is she? 82. Get out. What did we hit this? Mitch McConnell, how old is he? 79. They're all these people, their heyday was 50 years ago. 50 fucking years ago. It's Pelosi. All right, so let's do this again. How old is Hillary Clinton? Paul Pelosi, Mike Pence, poor Ryan. I'm glad he's gone, but he was the right age too. But what? 73. What is her worth? I don't want to know her age. I want to know her worth. Let's go back here. The fucking greed of these people. What did Nancy Pelosi do for a living? She was a congressman's daughter. And then she married a guy. That's what she did for a living. Yeah, I know a lot of these people have law degrees, but few of them did shit with them. They went to their father's friends' law firms, and that was it. This should not be hard to find. How old was Nancy originally? She's originally from Boston, but she moved to California to run for speaker. Just like George Bush Jr. moves from Kennebunkport, Maine to Texas to run for Congress. Just like his father, who was from his father ran for office where? We gotta look up the first George Bush. How rich is Nancy Pelosi? $120 million. What is she fucking telling you? She's $120 million. What did she do to earn it? She's always been a public servant. That's the thing. Did you buy her book? I didn't buy her book. $120 million. All right. You know what? Yeah, let's climb into her history because this is bullshit. Nancy Pelosi Wikipedia. Well, wait a minute. Giuliani is trending. What just happened? Lindsey Graham is trending because he got COVID. What is Giuliani trending for? Giuliani is close to broke, prepared to go to prison. All right, Vanity Fair. Giuliani rips Ukraine investigation. I committed no crime 10 hours ago. Giuliani says he's going to go to jail, denies crime, the insider. Yeah, another dude. How'd you get so rich again? Nobody bought any of your shit. They just play Ocasio-Cortez. She should be there. She's young enough. Pelosi's husband. Why is he up? He's not a politician. Alexandria Pelosi, nepotism. Kevin McCarthy, he should go. Rand Paul should go. Another son of fucking somebody. Maxine Waters is useless. Good job on you, Bernie. Mike Pence is fucking Dan Quill, essentially. She's an idiot. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hillary Clinton is evil. Ilhan Omar is an opportunist. Paul Pelosi Jr. is just waiting in the wings for something. Dianne Feinstein seems to be losing her marbles. Joe Biden got a whole bunch of shit to say about her, but we're just going to let that one ride. Liz Cheney, another idiot child of a politician. Nancy Corrin, right. Lindsey Graham, Anthony Fauci, who's been the head of the NIA, the National, not the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Institute for Health, for 30 years. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. He's just a political functionary. I can't say he's lying because I don't want to lose my shit, but I don't really believe much of what he has to say. Here we go. Are we even going to look into Anthony Fauci, the NIH nonsense? Yeah, here we go. I just want to know, as a physician, Fauci has served the American public health sector in various capacities for more than 50 years. Various capacities. He's been at the job he's in since 1984. So what do you mean various capacities? He acted as an advisor to every U.S. president since Ronald Reagan. Became director of NIH in 1984. That's 40 years ago. America is making kingdoms and fiefdoms with these fucking people. Trump should have fired him out and outright. He's been there too long. Him with Bill Clinton, him with Obama. Fauci in 84. Yeah, if Trump should have fired him. He's useless. You know, why don't we talk about something that is important to all of us? Look at this water. Are you fucking serious right now? No, god damn it. Did I change the image to... Oh, shoot. Cancel that. Good. All right, where are we? Change it to desktop background. Look at this. Open image in a new tab is what I wanted. Look at this. First of all, why would you drink that? I can totally see you might not miss it and drink it, but why would you? Oh my God. Let's hit it. This guy should be in jail, and he still, look at these pipes. You're drinking out of the river. Who drinks out of the river? Who drinks out of the river? All right, let's hit news. It really is just the most out. 1 hour ago, state auditors generally report insufficient monitoring of some Flint water crisis programs. Not surprised. There are objections to the proposed Flint water crisis 1 week ago. How much should lawyers make of the Flint water crisis? See, here come the lawyers to take all the money. Oh, inside the Flint water crisis cover up 2 weeks ago. Pursue every avenue for justice. Outrageous. 5 days ago, House Oversight Committee investigating new allegations of the Flint water crisis cover up. Here we go. Let's get into it, baby. Oh my God. All right, look, listen. Oh, I started playing guitar to get away from politics because it's so ridiculous. But I think we're back in. I think I'm going to learn the guitar on the side to moderate my heart rate and make sure I'm not crazy. This guy should be in jail. There's no justice in America. It's just a legal system, and the rich guys write the legal rules so they can do whatever they want. You can bribe politicians. It's called lobbying. It's really outrageous. The rich don't pay taxes. They fucking insider trade like Nancy Pelosi and her husband. Nothing gets fixed. The chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Oversight, let's make this bigger so you can see some of this. Maybe you'll lower it a little bit. The chair of the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Reform has responded to last week's Metro Times cover story that included new previous unreported revelations of a cover-up in the Flint water crisis. It would be deeply troubling if any of the officials involved in the poisoning of Flint's children destroyed evidence of their misconduct. U.S. Rep. Caroline Maloney, a New York State Democrat, said in a statement. Governor Steiner obstructed the committee's investigation from outset and set the tone that his decisions were above accountability. Governor Steiner has made the choice to put money over the lives of the children in Flint. He must be held accountable. People died. This dude, the former governor, is looking at killing like 200 people. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. He should not be walking around. It will be deeply troubling if he must be held accountable. Additionally, a source tells reporters Jordan Charlton and Jen Diz of independent news organization Status Quo, okay, that the coup is with an E. All right, the status quo. Oh God, Lord, man, this is just bothering me. What is this word? Coup. KOO, right, the status quo. All right, fine. That the committee is not investigating a potential destruction of evidence by Snyder's administration based off the report. Dem-controlled House Oversight Committee sponsor our Flint water crisis cover-up of bombshell saying, yeah, okay. The report that Charlton and Diz and co-published by Metro Times. The report by Charlton, Diz and co-published by Metro Times and The Intercept featured a slew of new details of the Flint water crisis cover-up, including obtained emails and documents. So it's not hearsay. Emails and documents from Flint criminal investigation showing top health department officials' phones had no messages on them for all of 2014 through 2015. Your phone had no text messages from anybody for 2 years? Yeah, that sounds like cover-up to me. The full period Flint received water from the Flint River and the deadly waterborne Legionnaire disease spread throughout the city, killing an untold number of residents. According to other documents obtained by Metro Times and The Intercept, phones belonging to the official with the state environmental department were dropped off to the IT department, wiped clean. Soon after Governor Snyder announced Flint's high lead levels in 2015. Other documents showed the phone belonging to Sarah Werfel, the press secretary to Governor Snyder during the Flint water crisis, was erased when she left her role shortly before the launch of the Flint criminal investigation. So they knew it was coming. And right before the official investigation came, they destroyed evidence. That's not how destroying evidence works. You don't need to be served papers not to destroy shit. to this, like, you know what I mean? It really is amazing. Dropped her phone at the IT department to the IT department. Wiped clean soon after governor announced Flint's high lead levels in October of 2015. Other documents show the phone belonging to Sarah Worth of the press secretary Flint water crisis was erased when she left her role shortly thereafter. Okay, we read that. Prosecutors also discovered Richard Baird, Snyder's top advisor and right-hand man, was interfering with the investigation by approaching state officials before their testimony to try to influence what they told prosecutors. He was witness tampering. These people are just the worst criminals. They get away with this shit because they wrote this thing that no one ever looks into what they do. But when it goes bad, they react like shitty mobsters, right? They're so used to getting their way that they don't really expect people to look into it. And then they do, we'll just erase heaven. You're all lawyers, first of all. Oh my God. Yeah. We're definitely shifting the show Monday. Oh my gosh. Prosecutors, okay, hold on. Right-hand man interfering and trying to influence what they told prosecutors. According to the report, Baird also altered Flint's water crisis timeline created by the state environmental and health department. How did he do that? To provide the agency's actions during the water crisis, to prevent the full scope of the Snyder's administration acts from going public. I mean, mind you, when these guys get on with a politician, they want him to like be president, because then they can be big men. I'm secretary of this, I'm blah blah blah. And even if they like serve in his cabinet, they can go back to their home state and run for governor, right? They got to keep him solvent. They got to keep him solvent. But man, full scope of Snyder's administration from going public when one Genosha County official noticed glaring holes in Michigan's environmental department timeline. Glaring holes. He wrote, "I doubt they want our help filling in the blanks." The Office of General Dana Nelson removed then Special Prosecutor Todd Flood after he spent 3 years leading the investigation to start the investigation from scratch. So he was one of their guys, it sounds like. He was leading it for 3 years, came up with nothing, then decided to start over after 3 years. That's waiting out whoever's in power. That's waiting out the governor or whoever wants this done, right? Waiting for a change of administration, right? Hoping that whoever's looking into this will cancel it because you're all the same political party. I mean, it's slow rolling justice. As it wrote, Nestle's new investigation, Snyder faces just 2 counts of willful neglect, misdemeanors that carry the maximum sentence of 1 year in prison or $1,000 fine. Wow. Okay. Dana Nessel, the Office of Attorney General Dana Nessel, she's the Attorney General, removed then Special Prosecutor Todd Flood after he spent 3 years leading this. As a result, Nessel's new investigation, Snyder faces, as a result of Nessel's new investigation, Snyder faces just 2 counts of willful neglect, misdemeanor that carries a maximum sentence of 1 year in prison and $1,000 fine. No, he was up for murder. The officer removed this Special Prosecutor after he spent 3 years to start the investigation from scratch. Okay. As a result, Nessel, who's the governor who removed him, new investigation. It's not okay. So then she had a investigation. She removed this guy, I guess, for incompetence. Then she had an investigation and she undercharged what he did wrong. 2 counts of willful neglect, a sentence of 1 year in prison. That's 6 months apiece and $1,000 fine. Previous reports suggest Flood's team was building an involuntary manslaughter case against Snyder before they were dismissed. So they were going to charge him with manslaughter, and she got rid of Todd Flood, and it sounds like he was going to charge with manslaughter, right? Before they were dismissed. It's unknown whether AG Nessel Flint prosecutors presented the evidence revealed in this report to the secretive one-man grand jury, Judge Nathan Newblatt, who indicted Snyder with a misdemeanor. So, if the fix is in, you need the judge. If you can find, AG, no, man, this sounds like the AG is looking at charges too. AG Dana Nessel. Let's look her up. She's still there. She's still serving since 2019. News. Nessel removes herself from pro-open election law. Attorney General Nessel opens investigation into People who make allegations about the results of 20. Metro Attorney General Nelson investigates false claims about election. All right, she's got her hands full. How old is she, by the way? Hold it. That's not what I wanted. 52. Yeah, she's about the right age to be in politics. Thank you. Let's get rid of this. Let's go back to here. Nestle new investigation. As he wrote, Nestle new investigation, Snyder faces just 2 counts. Right. Okay. Here we are. Previous reporting suggests Flood's team was building an involuntary manslaughter case against Snyder, the governor, before they were dismissed. It's unknown. It's not like they circumvented justice. It's unknown whether AG Nestle's Flint prosecutor presented the evidence revealed in this. Who indicted Snyder with a misdemeanor? So far, no major media outlet in Michigan or beyond has followed up or acknowledged the report. Flint Congressman Dan Kildee, Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, and Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters have not yet spoken out. Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib spoke out. Oh, there you go. On the story on Tuesday, condemning Snyder for covering up the Flint water crisis. U.S. Rep. Ro Kahana of California also spoke out. Environmental advocate Erin Brockovich, the famous Brockovich, who has visited Flint during the crisis, called the revelations broken by Metro Times and Instagram. The biggest cover-up story you're going to read. Actress Susan Sarandon responded to the story by asking, how was Snyder only charged with a misdemeanor, and why the Dem-controlled House Oversight Committee not brought him back in for perjury himself? Crystal Ball cited the report as an example of the story that mainstream media was ignoring. Crystal Ball. One would think that somebody in the establishment media might care about this critical new piece of information for understanding how exactly an entire American city was poisoned. Ball said, you won't be surprised to learn, however, we heard not a peep. Wow. That's amazing. That, to me, is fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. Hello, Onion Muffin. I hope you're well. So, man, we've been streaming for an hour and a half. This Flint water crisis thing is crazy. So this is why the show will shift from, I'm still going to learn guitar every day. But we're going to be, that is a lot of whiskey. We need to tone that down. Lord. We're going to not figure this out. We're going to knock this out because we got a ton of questions about a lot of this stuff. And yeah, I'm going to try not to be rude, but yeah, I think I'm going to be just as persuasive and activated, like as I've always been. I'll try and be calm about it. But come on, no one's even talking about this. He poisoned the whole city. How many people died? A lot. Inside the Flint water crisis cover-up, top officials missing messages. That's 2015. No, that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, they're trying to bury it. Here's the settlement. We'll give everybody $3 million. Everybody gets $50 a piece. Really? Yeah. Whiskey goes well with the Bible. Whiskey goes with everything. Flint water crisis is a fact for some in vaccine hesitancy. You're at this point where you can't trust your government. I mean, you're drinking water out of the river, and they didn't even tell you. Attorney fees are the latest twist. So how much are these attorneys going to get? Let's look into it. $202 million. How much money would the attorneys get that negotiate a settlement? Oh, good Lord. They always hide the close button on these stupid things. I don't need help. All right, fine. You know what? I hate people who claim to be in the news business and they do shitty shit like that. How about this? Flint water crisis. Law fees. No immediate ruling on $202 million attorney fee request. $202 million. Just the fucking greed of it. The ongoing Flint water crisis has taken a toll on residents. People died, baby. Emotions ran high Thursday during the pre-hell. Do you want to get into some of this? Let's get into some of this. Those who preach should not let a sip of alcohol touch their lips. Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm not preaching. Emotions ran high Thursday during a hearing on how much cash attorneys should take from proposed $641.25 million partial settlement of the city's lawsuit arising from the lead poisoning of Flint's drinking water. One lawyer said he had been pillared by some residents, including one who wants to know whether he plans to buy a yacht from his proceeds. Another accused the lawyer of objecting to the request fees as excessive of being secretly funded by big corporations such as oil. In March, filing, attorney requested $202.8 million in legal fees out of the whole 641. Hold it. 641.25. Hold it, that's not right. Hold on. 202.8 minus 641.25. Yeah, that's it. They get a third of it. I thought lawyers took 10%. This is the shitty shit. I mean, they keep you broken and they make and who you gonna take? What, you gonna take lawyers to court? Man, I think America is moving toward a violent culture, and I think it's well deserved. I think a lot of this shit don't make any sense, right? They should get proper compensation, but come on, a third. Lead attorneys have defended the request, saying they and lawyers from about 30 other firms worked about 182,000 hours on the case in the last 5 years, fighting a deep pocket state of Michigan that made immunity and other defense claims that had to be bought. Look, nobody said you shouldn't get paid. You shouldn't take a third, because the next bunch of knuckleheads are going to take half. You know what I mean? I thought lawyers only took 10%. But then you hear these, we won't take any money unless you get paid. And then you go, oh, okay. And you think it's 10% and it's like 60. And then whatever you get, you have to use to fight in court to get you know what I mean? It's so sinister the way America has arranged this nonsensical fucking club of lawyers. It's up to your Judith Levy to determine whether both the settlement itself and the attorney fees are fair. No attorney involved in the litigation has received $1 to date, though in addition to the 182,000 hours they have worked, they have paid expenses of at least $7 million without any guarantee that we'll get back $1 of that. Oh, muffin. They had $7 million, right? First, off the top of that, you give them the $7 million, right? I would argue you give them 3 times that, right? So you don't count this, but then you dump on top of that 21 million, right? For starters. And then you start thinking about bonuses for them because they did such a good job, right? And then maybe that bonuses comes out to 50, 60 million of the 400. But the idea that you're going to take a fucking third is fucking outrageous. You know, it really is just bananas. All right. This whole country is just falling apart. The bad guys wear suits and ties and they work in Congress and law firms and courtrooms, and they routinely gouge you And when you really they distract you with, oh, the women are wearing bathing suits and you can see their knees, or, the blacks are doing X, or all the immigrants are going to move in and take it, but they stay in play 80 years. Biden has been in politics since he was 29 as a senator, preaching hateful shit. And everybody's like, hey, and this is what I tell everybody. You know what? Everybody knows now, because I've been screaming about it on all my, every pod I do. Everybody knows. How are you going to get anybody to vote for him? All these black people. My mother voted for him because she bought into what they said about Donald Trump. And I was like, Donald Trump is not as big a problem as you think he is compared to the people who are career politicians who've been there for 50 years who are arrayed against him and want him gone as soon as possible. I give the example. It's me going into not your, because you guys are all good people. It's me going into someone's country club with my Timbs on and my big gold chain, right, and my whole fuck you attitude. They can't wait to get me out of there, right? They don't want me to stay for 4 years. They're like, call the security. Does he have a pass? Maybe he's parked it. And they want to get you out, and then they can go, oh, we can relax and go back to stealing shit and messing with these young girls and doing all this evil stuff. The new guy in, you have to corrupt him too. And remember, man, Donald Trump run at this thing was awesome. He was like, I gave you money. I gave you money. They were like, it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. So, yeah, he wasn't my favorite president, but I like him better than I like Hillary Clinton. So he got, my vote over Hillary Clinton. Absolutely. Absolutely. I view Hillary Clinton as the same as Joe Biden. Smiled in my face. I gave them my vote. Then I found out that they were cutting my throat behind my back. So, no, I'm not ever going to support you. And now that I know you did it, you can go kick rocks. And that's why she lost. And remember when she lost, the first thing she did was blame black people. They didn't come out to him for me. And then she had to sort of walk that back. And people like, yeah, you lost, but if you fucking piss off all black people, they won't vote for any Democrats. And we sort of need them. And now we're going to look at the midterms, which are, I want to say 2022, right? Let's see how the Democrats do. They're already talking about how nobody feels Kamala Harris. This is going to be an amazing lesson for the fucking Democratic Party. You can't even stop the open murder of black people in the street, but you want votes. And when it happens, you want to slide into our church and tell us bullshit and then leave again, and we'll see you in another 2 years when the next, all these talkative young people, Cory Bush and all these people, are controlled by the same narrative. They've got a press agent, and they don't talk freely anymore. What got them there? They shut her down yesterday. Where is that? Can we find that? That Cory Bush and her people are like, yeah. This interview is over. What is she, a rock star? You better fucking answer every question. You're a politician. You loser. Yeah, she should lose her seat the next time around. Cory Bush interview interruption. Explain it.
On the steps of the U.S. Capitol. And on top of that, we recessed. So we're supposed to be gone for the next few weeks, but instead, I chose.
This is not it. Come on, guys. Where is it? Cory Bush. What is this about? Me and my typing, it gets worse all the time. You want people who get it. The group I'm talking about. Where is it? Maybe it's in the news. Jones call for nonsense. Teacher anxious over, can't find it. Cory Bush staff interrupts interview. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that should be full interview. Cory Bush talks. They don't know what I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're not. I mean, it doesn't even show up now. I'm really am beginning to believe that they scrub shit off the internet. They bury it. Yeah. Oh, what is this? Joe Biden presidential transition. 15 women making the world a better place. Just keep pushing that sexism. I'm sure it's going to work for you. I said it before. Look, I support women, but you got to take care of the girls and the boys, right? All I hear is girls and girl power and women. And it's like, all right, you're going to get a lot before this whole thing fucking bounces back on you. It really is. Because like I said, I don't know any ladies who started like insurgencies and fought wars and shit, right? I don't. And you know, I said it before. Let's cut this off. Oh, I thought this was on. I said it before. This is the shit that men do, right? We want a fair society, but the society becomes more and more and more and more unfair. We'll see what happens. Only talk about the girls. Like 10 years ago, everything on sports was like breast cancer. And I was like, men get cancer too. Why is this just all the cancers, right? No, it's breast cancer. In the NFL, football season, NBA, basketball season, breast cancer. I was like, cure everybody, not just the, and that's it. Girl power. Oh, look, we've got this political thing. Oh, look. And they built this thing the last like 15, not 15, the last like 20, 25 years. And I think the men are just going to go, you know what? I fucking had it with this. And bam. But not like somebody is going to have to come through. But man, it doesn't look good. You know, fix it for everybody. So those people don't get a chance to take a podium or a dais and talk this shit. America has a long history of this kind of aggressive nonsense. Remember, women's two big fights were what? Right? Suffrage in the early 1900s. And then shortly after that, the beach fights that they had trying to show their ankles at the beach and women getting arrested. And then shortly after that, the whole flapper energy, which was sexual. Let's face it, right? I want to hang out. I want to sit in the bar. Women couldn't go to bars before. Women definitely couldn't smoke in public. And there's some pictures like women smoking and wearing what they want and sitting in bars and talking to men. People are like, oh my God, right? These were the first serious fights. And women went to jail, right? Some women died. And now what is the women's rights movement? I want to be able to, what, destroy men if I want to? That can't be it. I mean, these boys are suffering. Somebody should really do something. I'm expecting the fairer sex too, but they may not want to. That's fine. And I think if the men get a hold of it, this place is going to be like Iran. Remember, like I said, Iran, women used to have mini skirts and walk around, go to clubs. Now they can't even drive. And I dare you to leave your house without a head wrap. We will beat you in the street. What? You were a modern country just in 40 years ago, in the 70s. You were a modern country. Now, you can't, man, it's outrageous. Now, I don't think America's going to get that ridiculous, but I think the anger and animus here, and we're always fighting, is not going to serve well for some people. And it also shows me, once people get power in America, they just corrupt it. How you blaming all the men for all things? How you trying to educate only the girls? What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? All the children. So yeah, we're gonna shift this thing. Less guitaring, and that happens Sunday. Monday, 6 p.m. Monday. Saturday, 6 p.m. show is the last 2 days of shows that we're doing. And that will wrap up nicely because it'll be the 50th show Saturday morning. Unofficially, it'll be the 50th morning show that we did, and then the evening show will be the 50th evening show that we did, rounding out a nice 100 shows. 3 hours a piece up until about what I want to say last week Wednesday when we started toning down the time that we're here. to more reasonable. So all of our millions of fans gonna get used to it. Ha, millions of fans. Um, yeah, but we're still gonna be playing guitar. We're still gonna be talking. We're still gonna be cooking. We're still gonna be. But now that we're not doing that 7 a.m., we're gonna actually be able to sort of put some stuff together outside of the pod directly, and I'll be able to bring on some people. Excuse me, and they'll be able to tell me about you know the world from a younger person's view, which is good. We're trying to make good content, uh, and I think we're going to be able to do that. But the 7 a.m. show, look, even if I was a drive time morning DJ, right, on your radio car dial, I wouldn't have two shows, right? 7 a.m. people get up at like 5 to be there at 7, and then you'd have to like be awake at So yeah, uh, I I moved this show twice. It was at 4, then it went to 7, then it went back to 4, then 3 times. It was at 4, then it was at 7, then it went to 4, then it went back to 7. Now it's at 6. No, wait, hold on. 7, 4, 7. Right. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It was at 4, then we moved it to 7, then we moved it back to 4, then we moved it to 6, right? So that's what it was. Uh, it bees what it bees, my brother. Gonna start a band, and we're going to call it the band, and we're gonna play polka music for the homies in Brooklyn. Now, people think that that is just a waste, and I think that they're crazy. I think polka. The kids are out. I think polka is excellent for the brothers. All right, I think it's totally not used to what they're hearing. Get some Zydeco in there. Oh man, come on. So yeah, I'm just being silly, but we want a little more fun with our conversation and energy, and this will also allow me to sort of get fit. Maybe I will do a religious show. Onion muffin. Is an onion muffin a real thing though? That's interesting. An onion muffin. Hmm. Ooh, I like your profile pic. That's a beautiful sword. So yeah, man, it is what it is, what it is, what it is, isn't it? And that's what it is, and that's all that it is, and that's all that it can be. We could still chill, and I could roll a couple of soldiers, but I don't think I'm gonna roll a couple of soldiers. Uh, ooh, remember every day we check what the sun sets in a few. Well, what time is sunset?
Sunset will be at 8:09 p.m. today.
Sunset is at 8:09. Right. Let's go. Let's go. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. 8:09. Can't see it. Can't see it. No. Maybe. No. Is it? Can it? Will it? No. 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 All right. Fine. Uh, what time is sunset tomorrow?
Sunset tomorrow will be at 8:08 p.m.
Every day we lose a minute. It's so amazing. So, yeah. Some of these late nights, I'm gonna be tired. I can go out and watch the stars. Uh, and there's a thing where I can put my phone to my telescope, and we can sit someplace and watch shooting stars or comets, worlds collide. I can sit out under the sun and write lovely songs. What rhymes with giant biddies? All right, yeah. Obviously, I'm not gonna be writing songs. Maybe I'll just sit there and watch the stars. Uh, you know, excuse me, excuse me. I sort of miss like all the dudes I just hang out with and tell. I mean, I know it's not polite, but telling like saucy jokes, right? I mean, that's what guys do together. They tell stupid jokes. Now, if you do that, everybody wants to know the joke you told 30 years ago. It's just, yeah. All right. Woo! I'm a little tuckered, but that's all right. It's Friday. No, it's not. It's Monday. This is what happens when you don't work. Working keeps the days in order. If you don't work, you begin to lose track of days. If you don't have to be any place, you begin to lose track of time. All these things are true. All these things are real. This is why I encourage you, if you're retired, to pick up a hobby, do something, get out of the fucking house. I swear to God, you will die in that giant lawn chair, and you don't want to be that person. Some people, and I'm supposed to have my man on the show this week. I think I'm having on the show next week, absolutely. But the show is going under transition, so he may be my first guest. But he's got a devastating thing going on with him. And we don't know how long he's going to be with us. And, you know, a lot of people will do a lot just for one more day. And you have one more day. Don't go, oh my God, if I get through this, then I'll change X. Just, you know, and it doesn't have to be that drastic. You can just change X. Hold on, I got to put this up a little higher. All right. Hold it, wait a minute. Perfect. Yeah, just change X, whatever X is. You know what I want to do? I want to paint more. I want to draw more. I want to work towards something. So I just don't want to paint and draw randomly. I want to paint everything towards something. So I think my painting is going to be musical, to concentrate on music as I try and learn this goofy thing. And I think my drawing will be sequential, so I could have a comic book at the end of it. Even if no one ever sees it, you know, I can go somewhere with it. Man, I grew up around Black Panthers who were violent and Black Power-ish. And they always dated hippie girls who were loving and caring and flower power-ish. So I really do feel like I love all of you and I want good shit for you and I want good stuff for your families. But if you're my enemy, then fuck you. Right? So that's the black and white of my nature. Right? All sort of like peppered in with Christianity, like Baptist Christianity, with speeches by Dr. King. Yeah, I'm a hot fucking mess of what the fuck ever. And I think a lot of people were like that, and now they don't make people like us anymore. So now everybody's born in the 80s, and they just want cash. And they will sell you out for cash. They will do anything for money, right? They have no philosophy. And that's the way people buy people out. And before you know it, you're living in like a gulag state. I mean, the jail system is already a gulag state. We talked about Khalif Browder yesterday. Khalif Browder and Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. And the juxtaposition just sort of happened on the show, by the way, which super made me think, yeah, we're going to change the show. Khalif Browder, an innocent black person, kidnapped off the street by the cops and sent to jail for a robbery he didn't commit. Robert Kraft went to a massage parlor, trafficked in these women, had sex with them, it was on tape. The Khalif Browder, innocent, kept him in jail for 1,000 days, 2 years, 900 of those days in solitary confinement, 700 those days in solitary confinement. Kept getting him to try and cop to something. And then at the end, the judge was like, well, if you cop to this now, you can go home right immediately, out of this courtroom and straight home in a cab. And he was like, no, I didn't do it. Back to Rikers for like another 8 months. And I think eventually the lawyer was like, he won't roll over. We can't muscle him over like we get all these other kids to. And now they have to cover their ass. And he won't take the case. Oh, then they lowered it after they sent him back. They come to his Rikers cell and they go, all right, because they had him on two felonies. Okay, well, Will, if you cop to these 2 misdemeanors, we lowered it. 2 misdemeanors, you can go home now. We will drive you out of here. No, I didn't do it. They leave him again. So eventually, they dropped the charges. After 3 years in jail with no trial, because they didn't want to give him a trial. They just wanted to railroad a 16-year-old black kid. Robert Kraft, billionaire owner of the New England Patriots, caught up in a sting where they catch him on video banging these prostitutes at this massage parlor. Allegedly. The judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney all agree that something was a foul here and you should destroy the tape. You know why you want the tape destroyed in an era of internet shit? Do you know why? Do I even have to tell you? I mean, somebody is dirty and dead guilty here who knows people who rigged the legal system for him. And somebody was dead innocent who didn't know anybody and was railroaded by the legal system. There's no justice here. None. The fuck out of here with this. So yeah, I'm just going to be over here playing guitar, sipping my whiskey, smoking my J's, praising my God, honoring my friends, revering my parentage, and loving my country for what fucking is left of it. But as for the judicial system, I fully expect to get arrested for jaywalking and be given 300 years. Yeah, they're arrogant and flippant, and they have this nothing will ever happen to me attitude. And when this shit shifts, it's going to be bad. I don't know who's going to be bad for, but it's going to be bad. So I think the shift is coming. Now everybody's going to have to be evicted, homeless, and hungry while the middle class gets smaller. And you keep inviting Europeans in here to live high in these nice places like, well, California's on fire now, but these opulent places. Your enemies come here and live here. My family fought war with these people now. You know, you've got all these communist Chinese people living here. You know, the English act like America is a suburb of London. The Israelis act like America is a suburb of Tel Aviv. They just come and go as they please. Except for Israel. When somebody commits a crime here, they go to Israel. Israel never sends them back. And it's never a problem. Why do we have what do they call those things when somebody goes to your country and I would say I want them back? Extradition treaty. What's with the extradition treaty of America and Israel? So that's before we go, we're going to look that up. So know who your allies are, because I look at this and a lot of our allies is just kind of like, you really need to have is this not right? You need to have a little more respect for like this relationship that we're supposed to have. It's like the guy who says I love my wife but cheats on her all the time. Dude, I don't want to be your homie. You mean I like your wife? She's a nice woman. What are you doing? I've actually been in that scenario several times. Enough to know when it happened the last time, I'm like, nope. Done with you. Not lying for you. Not hang. Nope. True story. Extradition. Israel. Israel, December. Yeah, we have an extradition treaty. How come they don't ever send anybody back? Extradition from Israel, Office of Justice Programs, Ministry of Justice. Samuel Scheinbaum. Oh, he must sound like a good one. All right. July 8th. Oh, he died. 1980, 2014 was an American-Israeli convicted murderer. On September 16, 1997, Scheinbaum, I remember this, a 70-year-old senior at John F. Kennedy High School in Montgomery County, Maryland, and Aaron Benjamin Needle, a former classmate, killed Alfredo Freddie Enrique Tello Jr. They subsequently dismembered and burned the corpse in Aspen, Maryland. Scheinbaum fled to Israel, where he was eligible for citizenship. Israeli law at the time prohibited extradition of citizens. So why do we have an extradition treaty with you? So you're essentially saying, oh, we'll send anybody back as long as they're not Israeli. What kind of fucking what? What kind of fucking extradition treaty is that? Who signed that bullshit extradition treaty? This is the way this goes. You're an American citizen. You go to France. They send you back because you're an American citizen. You're an American citizen. You go to Israel. They send you back because you're an American citizen. No. No. Your Israeliness trumps your American citizenship. That's bullshit. I mean, yeah. And this is not the first. There was tons of these cases. I remember the guy who shot that poor Jewish boy on the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, Scheinbaum was sent to 24 years in prison by an Israeli court in 1999. All right, so here we go. It's the Israeli law at the time. The case strained U.S.-Israeli relations, and prompted an overhaul of Israeli's extradition policy. The idea that you can go and do some horrible shit like that, slide into Israeli society as a murderer, and everybody's good with that, should be a problem for Israelis. Who wants to live next to a murderer who did something so vile? And even if he never does anything bad again, he's sitting eating your food and sitting in your sunshine, dating your daughter. What? All of it is bad. All of it was bad. The arrogance of it. Prompted an overhaul. I mean, it was bad enough that they're like, whoa, wait. Mind you, I mean, we were big supporters of them, right? This is the 80s, which now requires a defendant seeking to avoid extradition to demonstrate a residential connection to Israel. What the fuck does that even mean? A sensational legal tug of war involving Congress and the state and the Justice Department and the upper echelon of Israeli political and judicial establishment. Scheinbaum was sentenced to 24 years in prison. He should have got life by an Israeli court in 1999. In 2014, he was killed in a shootout with Israeli police special forces in Remsen prison after he shot and wounded 6 officials and another prisoner with a gun that had been smuggled into prison. Excellent job. He was a giant piece of shit from the beginning. 17, the arrogance of that. Scheinbaum created a prosecutors called a recipe for murder, what prosecutors called a recipe for murder on a single sheet of notebook paper. Scheinbaum wrote zap, pepper, metal restraints, rain suits, X-Acto hobby knife, plastic bags, and other. He went to kill him and then murder him and then dismiss. That was his plan. At 17, at age 7, Scheinbaum informed a friend that he offered $5,000 for someone to kill the boyfriend of his crush and $1,000 for someone to lure his rival into a vehicle. Scheinbaum sought someone to murder as practice for his intended target, according to the Monk. So he was going to murder some random innocent on a walkthrough to murder the guy because that guy liked his girlfriend, or liked the girl who didn't like him. There's no way that this whole fucking shit is not just a hot shit show. I'm not even going to continue reading it. I mean, we know what happened. We know he slipped out. Scheinbaum evaded apprehension by Maryland police and fled to Israel with the help of his father, who his sorry ass should still be in jail today. An attorney with the U.S. His father was a lawyer. Yeah, tell me about the legal system again, please. With dual U.S. which I'm not a fan of dual citizenship for anybody. Pick one. Where's your allegiance lie? So allegedly bought Samuel a passport purchased on airline ticket to Tel Aviv and drove from JFK airport to flee the United States. Once Scheinbaum was in Israel, his brother Robert flew to Israel and met him in a hotel room, allegedly bringing him his first bottle of wine and a prostitute. On September 25th, 1997, he survived an overdose of sleeping pills and wine in what was thought to have been a suicide attempt. Police found an apparent suicide letter in his family, to his family in his hotel, and Scheinbaum was placed in psychiatric hospital. Scheinbaum was arrested, and U.S. authorities were notified of his presence in Israel in an attempt to avoid extradition. Scheinbaum claimed and received Israeli citizenship as the son of an Israeli national through his father. So, your father is not an American citizen? God, I can't even with some of this shit. It's like a movie. It requires you to suspend your belief in a lot of things for me to be all right with this. So, but a lot of people don't care. So yeah, better know who's in your country. You don't care. You care about the Mexicans though. Better care about some of these Europeans, some of these British people, some of these Israelis. A lot of Russians are here. A lot of communists like Chinese are here. Better wake up. But they all say the same thing. The fucking blacks. The black, and then you look over there, the fucking blacks. Meanwhile, they're shoving shit in their pocket, looting you blind. The people who have no power is sitting here like, man, what the fuck? When America falls, it's going to be with a lot of help from our allies. I really do think so. Scheinbaum placed in the psychiatric. Scheinbaum was arrested, and U.S. authorities notified of his presence in Israel. In an attempt to avoid extradition, Scheinbaum claimed his father received Israeli citizenship as the son of an Israeli national through his father, who had been born in mandatory Palestine and immigrated from Israel at 6. Extradition fight. The U.S. Justice Department submitted an extradition request to Israel, and the U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright pressed for maximum cooperation. Israeli Attorney General Eliakim Rubinstein opened extradition proceeding against Scheinbaum. A protracted legal battle in the Israeli courts ensued. Scheinbaum fought extradition. Scheinbaum's family hired former Israeli Justice Minister David Libai to serve on his defense team. This resulted in severe strain in U.S.-Israeli relationship, and outrage from the Latino American community, and rightfully so. White-tailed deer in the U.S. appear to be contracting coronavirus in the wild. Deers are getting it. This thing is a species jumping monster, and I think by the time it's all done, let's hope not, but I think we won't have to worry about overpopulation. I think in about 10 years, this thing is going to, well, not 10 years, like 5 years, this thing is going to hit its head. It took 5 to 4 years to hit its head in Europe, a pandemic, not this one. But you better hope it's not jumping all around. Congress threatened to withhold aid to Israel. Extradition hearing began in Jerusalem District Court, presided over by Judge Moshe Ravid. In February 19, Ravid offered a compromise, but Scheinbaum would return voluntarily to the United States to stand trial, and if convicted, could return to Israel to serve his prison sentence. Get the fuck out of here! What is this special? Oh my God! The idea of we are special means, oh my God, don't even get me started. And convicted could return to Israel, serve his prison sentence. Scheinbaum accepted the idea, but American prosecutors rejected it. Good job. In September 1998, Ravid ruled that Scheinbaum could be extradited because he had no meaningful connection to the state of Israel. He uses a U.S. passport, had never lived in Israel, thus was insufficiently deserving protection under Israeli law. The district court, here we go. The district court was appealed to the Israeli Supreme Court. In February 1999, 5-judge panel of the Supreme Court blocked Scheinbaum's extradition in a 3-2 ruling. It cited a 1978 law that banned the extradition of Israeli citizens. He wasn't a citizen. While acknowledging that the Israeli had signed a treaty with the United States allowing the extradition of citizens, in 1970, it ruled that the 1978 law took precedence, and Scheinbaum's lack of ties to Israel did not negate his claim to citizenship. These are not your allies. Was expressed over the concern was expressed over the possibility that this ruling could turn Israel into a sanctuary for criminals. In writing his dissension, Justice Arak Barak, the president of the Israeli Supreme Court, wrote of this possibility, the court majority opinion, authored by Justice Theodore or expressed the position that the law prohibited Scheinbaum extradition, and district court ruling implied different levels of Israeli citizenship. In spite of this, Orr wrote that it would have been ideal had Scheinbaum been tried in the United States. One can wonder if there is any justification for protecting someone from extradition when that person is not a resident and has no connection to Israel. It's hard to see any justice when it's hard to see any injustice when citizens have to stand trial for crime they committed in a country which is the very center of their lives. Let's read that again. One can wonder if there's any justification for protecting someone from extradition when that person is not a resident and has no connection to Israel. Okay, it's hard to see any injustice when citizens have to stand trial for crime they committed in the country, in the very center of their lives. Okay, it's hard. That's not an injustice. I'm an American. I commit a crime here. I go to the American jail. Yeah, that's not an injustice. Okay, I get that. In the last-ditch efforts to have him extradited, Attorney General Eliakim Rubinstein submitted a request that a larger panel of Supreme Court justices re-examine the case. Deputy Supreme Court Shlomo Levine rejected the request. Following the decision, Israeli prosecutors began preparing to try him for murder in the Israeli judicial system, and a Tel Aviv state prosecutor had already been assigned by the time the Supreme Court rejected Rubinstein's request to reconsider his decision. On March 20, 1999, state prosecutor Hadish Noor indicted Scheinbaum for murder with intent to kill in Tel Aviv District Court. The charge was equivalent to a charge of first-degree murder in the United States. I don't want you to fucking try him. He didn't murder anybody there. Man, I got to tell you, some of these people are hard to fucking deal with. I don't know how we keep getting the bad end of the shitty stick here. In August 1999, Scheinbaum accepted a plea agreement with prosecutors. In September, he confessed to murdering Tello. In October, a three-judge panel at Tel Aviv District Court sentenced him to 24 years in prison with eligibility for prison furlough after 4 years and parole after 16. Furlough after 4 years for luring, murdering, and dismembering, and then fleeing justice. It was reported that the harshest sentence that had ever been imposed in Israel for a crime committed by a minor. Previously, no minor had been given a sentence longer than 20 years. These claims have been disputed. There was outrage in both Israel and the United States over the case. According to the New York Times, throughout the court proceeding, Scheinbaum plea bargain, the prosecutor, judge, and even the defense attorney showed seemingly visceral distaste for Scheinbaum. The case and the extradition law, which by that time had been amended. Judge Ori Gorin president of the panel, said that we are dealing with a defendant who forced himself upon the Israeli judicial system, noting that Scheinbaum had clearly manipulated a law that had been designed to prevent Jews from being handed over to anti-Semitic regimes. I'm just, you know what I mean? Skip. Attorney Doug Gates, president. Okay, what did the Americans say about this? Anti-Semitic regime. Montgomery County State Attorney Doug Gansler, hey Doug, expressed his opinion that the sentence was too lenient, stating, viewing through the lens of the Israeli court, we agree that this 24-year sentence is a severe sentence. However, this is an American crime demanding American justice. Even after Scheinbaum's conviction, the state of Maryland maintained a warrant for his arrest. Good job, Maryland. And the United States issued an Interpol warrant. Good job. You know what that means? He can't leave Israel. He can't go on holiday to France, which he wouldn't have. They would have carried his ass back here because there's an Interpol warrant for him. Yeah, meaning that Scheinbaum faced prosecution in the United States if he ever returned, and faced extradition to the United States if he had ever traveled to any Interpol member country, regardless of whether he served time in Israel or not. So he could have did his 24 years, took a vacation to Bahamas, and they would have arrested his ass under the standing warrant in America, in Maryland. Scheinbaum was in prison in a juvenile detention center until he was 18, after which he was moved to Ayala prison, a maximum security prison in Ramallah. Later, he was transferred to Remanan prison, a maximum security, still got a gun in there, in Even Yehuda Netanyahu. He eventually became eligible for weekend furloughs and was granted 96 such furloughs during his incarceration in prison. Scheinbaum worked in the wood shop, took university courses, eventually gaining a degree in computers. He generally displayed good behavior in prison. Months before his death, the prison spokesman described him as a good prisoner. However, according to his attorney, Ora Hayden, he never received psychological counseling. Why would he need to? On December 13, 2012, a shiv was found in Scheinbell's cell. At the time, Scheinbell lived in a section where inmates have access to each other's cell. At a hearing over the incident in March 2013, 6 months later, well, that's 4 months later, he claimed that another inmate had planted it there and demanded a DNA sample from the weapon be tested and security camera footage of the hallway outside his cell be reviewed. Both requests were denied, but it was also ruled that the incident could not be used against him in parole hearing. However, his furloughs were temporarily suspended. This is what we want to hear. Outrage ensued in both countries after the February 1999 Israeli Supreme Court decision. The Knesset subsequently passed 2 laws overhauling Israel's extradition policy in 1999 and in 2001. The first bill, which had been proposed prior, was unrelated to the Scheinbaum affair, stipulated that a citizen must have a residential connection to Israel to avoid extradition. The second allowed Israeli citizens to be extradited upon a guarantee that if convicted, the Israeli national would be permitted to serve the sentence in Israel, which is bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. Go fuck yourself. Israeli and the United States also signed a protocol on. Did we sign this? No, that's their bills. But yeah, we don't care. It's that you have to serve is a red herring for not giving anybody over. Israel and the United States also signed a protocol on July 6, 2005. All these years later, 99 is 2005, providing for a reciprocal extradition of persons charged with or convicted of an offense, including attempt or conspiracy to commit an offense, which is punishable under the law in both parties by deprivation of liberty for a period of 1 year or by more severe penalty. Legal analysts speculate that had Scheinbaum affair taken place today in 2000, not being domiciled in Israel at the time he committed the offense, he would probably have been extradited. You know, man. What happened to his father? After Samuel fled to Israel, his parents, Saul and Victor, moved to Israel. Of course they did, where Saul found work as a patent law consultant. Shortly after Samuel's arrest, Saul Scheinbaum and his son Robert, who was also present in Israel, were arrested by Israeli police for hampering an investigation and had their passports seized, but were released shortly afterwards. Scheinbaum's siblings, Robert and Nathalie, subsequently changed their name to Shine. Yeah, to get away from the fucking stench of what you did. Robert eventually ended up settling permanently in Israel, where he married and had 2 children, while his sister-in-law remained in the U.S. Yeah, him and his father are complicit. I don't think he could come back. But the sister, this is not our first mention of her. You got a lot of people who should not be here. Saul Scheinbaum was charged with obstruction of justice in the United States. Absolutely. He is wanted on an arrest warrant for hindering, obstructing a police investigation. But because his crime was a misdemeanor, he was not extradited. In 2002, he was disbarred as a lawyer in Maryland. So yeah, he's never coming back here. In 2004, he was disbarred as a lawyer in Washington, D.C. by District Court, Columbia. In 2004, the United States Patent and Trademark Office began disciplinary proceeding against him. And following a year, revoked his patent attorney license, which Scheinbaum unsuccessfully appealed. Aftermath and death. Yes. Standoff and death in pop culture. Now, which I believe had been smuggled into prison. Police traced the gun to a resident of central Israel whose gun had been stolen a year before. It was reportedly the first known case in Israel of an inmate opening fire inside a secure compound. Standoff and death. I mean, oh yeah, this was. Okay, on February 23rd, Scheinbaum called his attorney, Orit Hayun, thanking her and telling her goodbye, and that she would hear of him shortly, fearing that he would about to commit suicide. He was going to commit suicide. She called police authorities and the district attorney, urged them to take action, but her concerns were dismissed. About a half hour later, while being transferred to a different prison cell, Scheinbaum requested a bathroom stop. He pulled out a handgun and shot 3 guards, severely injuring 2 of them, before barricading himself in the bathroom. A standoff ensued during which authorities attempted to negotiate with him. The Mesdat unit, Israeli commando unit, for disturbance in prison was called, and a heavily armed Mesa team with attack dogs arrived in the scene. After an hour, Scheinbaum shot at Mesa operators around the room, and they returned fire, seriously wounding him. Despite attempts to resuscitate, Scheinbaum died soon afterward. Six officials, one prisoner, were wounded by Scheinbaum. The shooting occurred 1 year before Scheinbaum would have been eligible to apply for parole. They really put me, yeah. Don't even. Is there more of these fucking things down here? American people convicted, American people in prison abroad, American people who died in prison got death by firearm, people convicted of murder by Israel prisoners detained in Israel prison who died in Israel detention, American immigrants, international. Yeah. But you know what's not here? His picture. Bet you there was a fucking black guy, his picture would be there. Sorry to say it, sad but true. All right, boys and girls. We have been streaming for 2 hours and 26 minutes. Why is it so dark? You know why it's so dark? Because the sun has set. Let's hit this. So the new show will be more politically driven. We'll have other people on here to kick back and forth, left and right, up and down. Be flippant and arrogant in your nature. You are worth it. The bad guys are the bad guys. You should not give them quarter at all. I'm Truist Armor. It says so on the HAPS streaming button. That's fine. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube page. Please like and subscribe to my Twitter page, Karma Armor on on Twitch. Karma Armor on Twitch and Twitter, quite frankly, and True S Armor on YouTube and Twitch. Apparently, I have two of them. I got love for you, even though I don't know you. I wish you well. It is what it is, man. It really is. Just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of the control goes into things you can say. Because if I tell you something, you go, yeah, that's right. That's how you build, what's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie with people, build a confederacy of people. And they don't want you talking about some of these things. Right? Me bringing that up makes me an anti-Semite. Automatically. That thing is all sorts of fucked up. They have an outsourced influence and they shouldn't. Doing bad things is doing bad things, and nobody should want it. And like I said, I don't believe in dual citizenship. Pick a fucking flag, bitch. People are dying for it. But Americans, politicians are so easily bought off. That's why I wondered, what is it? What is it? What is the metric of treason? I don't even know. So again, it is what it is, baby Bubba. It is what it is. Do we have yesterdays? No, we don't have yesterday. Tomorrow's show is up. Please like and subscribe. Tomorrow's show will be at 7 a.m. And then there will be another show at 4. Shall I put the 4 p.m. show up now? I'll put up immediately after we do this. We have been streaming for 2.5 hours. Some guitar playing, some sipping, some smoking. See, now I don't want to go in there and cook that steak. That steak has to be cooked tonight, though. So maybe I end this and throw it up on my phone and show you how I cook a steak. But I don't really want something heavy like a steak at 8:30. I'm gonna cook it for breakfast tomorrow, 7 a.m. Am I going to work tomorrow? I didn't go to work today. 3-day work week, 4-day work week. Only thing better than a 3-day work week, it's a 4-day work week. What's the weather tomorrow? I think I'm going to work tomorrow. It doesn't start raining till late in the afternoon. Then the next day, it starts raining. Oh. In the morning. Yeah, I guess I'm going to work tomorrow. Oh, maybe I should take this whole week off. Who can I call to get the whole week off? Because I have to clean up this room, to clean up that room. I have to. Oh, is the laundry? I think the laundry is done. Uh, I have to clean up the kitchen. I have to clean up the. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna use this whole apartment as a studio set to start filming stuff. So I have to do a lot of cleaning, and I think it's gonna take me about 4 days. It is what it is. It's not dirty so much as it's just disorganized. Um, yeah, disorganized. Plus, when I stop doing the 7 shows on Saturday, uh, I can do gaming because then I'm gonna be exhausted. Then I can cruise in here, do this show for an hour. It'll probably be an hour. It won't be an hour and a half, 2 hours like this, 2.5 hours. It'll probably be an hour, hour and a half. Political nonsense, stuff like that. My guitar show will be an hour, da 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 da. And then I can jump into Twitch and fucking play video games for like 4 hours. Uh, oh, what's the first game I'm going to play? I might play Democracy, where I am the leader of America or Britain or Russia or whatever, and I have to deal. Well, not Russia because I just fucking throw them in the gulag, but some Western country, Australia, and have to. It's a really great game. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to put a hey, I'm on Twitch. Come watch me play on the restreamer because the restreamer has problems with the video, but that's all right. That's okay. We got love for you anyway. Um, yeah, this is where we end it. Remember, you are a consequential individual, whether God made you out of clay in his lab and then you gave ladies a rib and they're rocking out now, or the cosmos made you, right? Out of stardust and solar winds, and now you're here walking around. Either way, I don't see why you would waste that kind of fantastic energy to do some good and great thing. And I think you need allies, and I think that's part of it. And if you having allies is a problem. I think people have sold you a bill of good. You might be jaded, but not all people are ridiculous. Yeah, we're ending the show, um, and that's that. I'm not taking any phone calls. Uh, I don't even know what they want. Um, yeah, we're saying goodbyes. Come on. Uh, we've been streaming for 2 hours and 33 minutes. Remember, you're consequential. You can pick up that guitar. You can pick up that music. You could learn the stock market. You could learn the guitar, piano. You can do everything but be an astronaut, right? You want to take pilot lessons? Take pilot lessons. You want to? I support you, but don't be an asshole. And in a society where everybody is taught to be an asshole, so somebody can be like the tiebreaker, and that's where the money is. Maybe you should just remove yourself from that arena, which is kind of what I did with politics. Even as I told you this, read you these stories about politics and what I think about it. Um, I used to be really invested in politics. Now I'm just kind of like those people are full of crap. I'm over here. Uh, I really hope that's gonna be bullshit. I really hope that you find the light. We all have a different side kind of beacon, but a lot of people don't even know where the beacon is that calls for them. And you can find your beacon, right? It'll make your life better. Uh, the weird thing about my life now is feeling in these three fingers are slowly going away, and that's weird to me. I guess it makes sense since you're trying to be a guitarist, and you got to get, you got to build up strength and dexterity and all this. But you also notice that, like, yeah, it's amazing. I didn't even think about it. So please like and subscribe. Do it now. Do it now. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Give yourself a week to see if you like it, and then if not, get out of there. But come on, like and subscribe. This show is going to be awesome, and it's going to get better. And it's every day. The only thing we're changing is 2 a days. We're not doing 2 a days anymore because I hate to say it. I'm a little too old for that. But 6 o'clock at night, every day. 7 a.m. every day up until this coming Saturday. Then 6 o'clock at night, every day. And the shows won't be 3 hours. They'll be an hour. and then we'll likely hop out for 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll come back with a game, or come back with politics, or come back with some friends. And it's going to be interesting. Come back with you, right? We'll have hopefully a call-in situation where you can call in and go, what up? And that's what we want. We want interaction among us here, people in the hinterlands who drink the beer and do the work and lift the boxes and wash the kids, and, you know, versus the people at the top who want to rule us by division. You should hate that group, and you should hate that group, and this group only votes for me so I can protect you against those groups. But meanwhile, they're all in bed together. You know, you need a better day. You need a better day. And your better day starts with you looking out for your mental energy and doing that in a way that's discipline based and production based, productive based. And that could be anything. That could be cooking. That could be reading cookbooks. You know, that could be buying some newfangled cooking gear. I got too much cooking gear in my kitchen. Just fun. Make your life a little more interesting, a little more fun, and something that you can learn down the line. So after you do it for 2 years, you go, oh man, I've learned all these recipes. Oh man, versus just sitting and reading a book or reading about politics. You won't get ahead unless you're studying to write a book, right? We want you to take what you're learning and be able to channel it and have people see it, and then, you know, pay you for it. I guess people like money. But other than that, I don't know. Otherwise, you could just go back to watching Fox News and MSNBC and hating everybody, right? All right, boys and girls, you are consequential. I know you're consequential. I hope you know you're consequential, and I hope you come back and hang with us. Because I know you probably think I'm a flaky knucklehead, and you're probably right. But I'm a flaky knucklehead who's looking out for you, even though I don't know you personally. And I think you can do the thing. We are the doers of the deed, and the deeds need doing. And we're the doers. Deeds needs doing. Who else is going to do it but us? We are the doers of the deed, after all. And not one type of deed. There's a million types of us and a million types of deeds. And we can do it. We are the doers. Let's get it doing. Let's get it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Mwah! Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Till I see you next time.